Welcome back to another episode of Pursuit of Freedom here on Finding Freedom. Great to have you here. Great to have you here with me again. I know it's been a little while since I dropped a Pursuit of Freedom episode, and I'll get into the reasons why. And some of it has to do with the topic, what we're going to be talking about, focusing on for today's episode, and that is the slog mentality of entrepreneurship. We'll get to that shortly. First, I want to give just a little update on some things, maybe explain why I haven't posted in the past week. One thing off the top, I will say I've had an interesting week from a medical perspective, you would put it. So I'm someone who never goes to the doctor. I don't even have a regular, primary care doctor right now. Probably should change that. I probably will in the next week or so here. But of course, you know my history here. If you've been listening to the show, I got laid off about a month ago, 5 weeks ago. This month of August 2024, if you're listening to this later, I don't have health insurance right now. So, of course, when you don't have health insurance, that's when you're going to need health insurance. So I got this, this was 2 weeks ago. I got a bug bite on my calf, and I get bit by mosquitoes all the time. Like, I'm one of those people that attracts mosquitoes. I don't understand why. It seems like I always get bit. Anyway, I thought it was just a mosquito bite. I will say I've never had a tick bite before. I've never found a tick on me. I don't think so, at least. I've had some things that I wasn't totally sure, but I think they were too large to be ticks. But so I had this bug bite and started out normal. And then all of a sudden, after like 2 days, it just blows up. It's this huge red welt. And I noticed like day 2, day 3, my calf muscle is like hurting. I'm like, well, that's kind of strange. That doesn't normally happen when you get like a mosquito bite. And I had just remember, if you guys remember, I went on a fishing trip in August, beginning of August, beginning of this month. And one of my buddies on that trip was telling me about how he recently found out that he had Lyme disease, because whenever he would try to put a sock and a shoe on, his foot would get all inflamed red. So he finally went to the doctor. They said, you probably have Lyme disease, gave him antibiotics, and that was that. So with that in the back of my mind, I'm like, I should probably go to urgent care. Honestly, if I didn't have that in my mind, I don't know if I would have gone as quickly, but I'm glad I did. So went to urgent care. Actually, urgent care is not bad at all without insurance. It's a good learning experience for you people out there who are afraid of what it's like if you leave your 9 to 5. What are you going to do without insurance? Well, you can go to MedExpress. I think I paid for the appointment like $190. I still have a lot of funds in my HSA, so that was nice. Went and saw the doctor. They take the blood pressure, ask me questions, all that stuff. Go back and you see, I guess at MedExpress it was a PA, a physician's assistant or something like that. Anyway, the guy comes in. He looks at my calf muscle, looks at the welt, and he didn't think it was Lyme. He thought it was a different type of infection. Thought it was cellulitis, actually, which can be very, very bad. Gave me an antibiotic for it, and I was on my way. And started taking the antibiotic, and it cleared up pretty quickly on my calf. But the thing was, I wasn't really thinking like I should have been. And on the bottle, it said not to take the antibiotic with magnesium or calcium or iron or any of that stuff. And I do take a magnesium supplement. So I thought, okay, yeah, I'll push that magnesium supplement back and no problem. And I was taking this antibiotic twice a day, but like an idiot, I didn't remember. I wasn't thinking. I know this. I talk about it all the time, how the hydration drink that I use, Hydrate from Plexus, has, all of these electrolytes in it. And the problem is I was drinking that a lot of the mornings when I was taking the antibiotic, and probably was canceling out, because that's what it does if you're taking magnesium and calcium with the antibiotic. It can like make it hard for the antibiotic to do its thing and be absorbed. So I was probably canceling out some of the effects. So long story short, what happened is I got another welt like up on my thigh, like on my hamstring. And at first I thought I pulled my hamstring. I thought I pulled it playing golf because I played golf on last Saturday. No, turn around, I look at it, and it's another one of those welts. Now, the other welt on my calf is gone, and I'm still taking the antibiotic. It's about at this point in time when I realize, crap, I've been drinking my electrolyte drink while I'm taking my morning dose of antibiotics. So I stopped that, and the welt slowly goes away over time. I go back to MedExpress on yesterday, on Thursday, and the doctor's like, wow, this is different. Not used to seeing this. Thought it would go away. They extended my antibiotic by 4 more days. Everything seems fine. Seems like the welt on my leg, that the existing one is pretty much gone now. I don't have any new things. I feel great. I think I'm going to be okay. So, but any prayers, of course, would be appreciated for this crazy situation. So that's why one of the reasons why I haven't been on here today doing a podcast, because I've had some other things on my mind and taking care of that stuff. But also, I've been working my butt off. I did decide to make a pivot, and I had talked previously about starting a podcast production and consulting agency. I am sure I am going to table that for the time being, and I'm going to dive into real estate. And I joined a real estate mentorship, a real estate investors mentorship. My plan is, in order to get cash quickly, is to go into wholesaling in the local market here in Pittsburgh, try to build up a war chest, and then buy and either buy and I really don't want to flip, probably just buy and hold, buy and rent. That's my plan for real estate, but primarily I think it is a very good method, wholesaling real estate, in order to make money quickly. It's not for, people who hate rejection. But I have some experience in these types of conversations, as I have bought vacant land before from people. And I've talked to a lot of distressed sellers. I've talked to people who were not happy to hear from me. So I'm not worried about that aspect of it. You just have to go through people in order to find the right fit, so you can help them out of a bad situation, of a foreclosure, from losing their house, losing their equity. Ideally, you want to find people like that, and you can help them to sell their house so they at least save their equity. That is my plan going forward. So diving into real estate. Of course, end of month for Plexus, huge month for me, huge time of month for me right now, trying to help people who got problems. If you're trying to lose weight, if you have, some issues like headaches or trouble sleeping or chronic fatigue, or you're dealing with autoimmune issues or digestive issues, acid reflux, I'm looking for people who have any of these issues, because I want to help you. I want to help you use natural supplements by healing your gut in order to feel better and not using pharmaceuticals. So if you're one of those people, or if you know one of those people, let me help you. I promise it'll work, and you'll absolutely love the supplements. I've done a couple lives this past week talking about in more detail gut health on my Facebook page. So if you don't follow me, or if we're not friends on Facebook, please do that, and I will accept your friendship, and then reach out if you'd like to. And to talk about all of that, so everything that's going on, right? The title of today's episode, I get to it 10 minutes in, The Slog of Entrepreneurship. So what does that mean? So what does slog mean? Slog means to plod perseveringly against difficulty, to work hard and steadily. So what I have noticed big time in my face with not having that 9-to-5 job is, and I've talked about this before, but it's really in my face now. The work you're doing, the plotting you're doing day to day, learning about real estate, watching these videos, looking on YouTube to learn different tactics, everything that I'm doing in that space, it is a plod right now. I'm having to persevere through the fact that I am not getting paid $1 for what I'm doing right now, but I'm investing in myself. I have to persevere through this initial phase and through, later phases as well. I'm sure there's going to be many obstacles along the way, but entrepreneurship is a plod, and I think, or a slog and a plod. It is a slog, and I think slog is looked at as a negative word. It's not negative. Slogging is positive. It's actually a skill that you can develop and get better at over time. And within the word slog, so we're talking about persevering along against difficulty, persevering through obstacles. That is the definition of progress. So slogging and continuing to slog will equal progress. That is where I'm heading. That's hopefully where the listeners of this show, I hope that's where you're heading. If you need some motivation today, if you're dealing with something like that, if you feel like you're stuck, just keep slogging, guys. You got to slog. You got to slog in this entrepreneurial game. Last thing before I send you on your way today, I am about to head up to check out 2 ice machines in central Pennsylvania. It's 2 different models that I'm potentially looking at putting here in the Pittsburgh area. So going to check them out, take some pictures, take some videos, actually use them. And just get some real life experience looking at some of these ice machine models that I might be using. So that is part of the slog, right? It's not going to make me any money today by going up there looking at those ice machines, but by going and looking at them, understanding how they work, seeing pros and cons, looking how they're hooked up, looking at the surroundings, maybe sitting back and watching the type of people who are using it for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to get too creepy. We'll see. We'll see what the setup's like. But yeah, that's the slog, man. And that is the journey. I hope that if you're on this journey, that this helped you. I hope that if you're kind of looking for a nudge, some motivation to start going down this entrepreneurial path, I hope that this motivated you to start slogging. That's all I got for today. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to this on either your podcast feed, on YouTube, on Rumble. I do finally have a Rumble account for Finding Freedom, so you can search for it. And I will, probably the next episode, I will be going live on Rumble as well. So be sure to subscribe on Rumble. I will see you all next week. Keep on fighting and keep on slogging.